TW. 20 male, was just saw a few hours ago. How do I tell my GF, 20 female? I went to smoke with this girl 19 female because we were hanging out while her boyfriend was on FT and my girlfriend was okay with it. I asked many times. We go to the spot and I start smoking, but she doesn't, around 11:10 p.m.
This is stuff I have not smoked before and my sister got from Michigan, and I have never greened out before except for on my sister's stuff once.
I got really lightheaded and fell to the ground and genuinely thought I was going to die.
The next thing I remember after falling is her being on top of me and kissing me and forcing her tongue in my mouth and touching me.
She tried to go all the way but obviously I was soft so it didn't happen. I have been awake just laying feeling nauseous and my body feels horrible and I am having major panic attacks.
I know I need to tell my girlfriend but I don't want her view of me to change or her to think that it was consensual in any way, and I also don't know how to.
Can I please have advice from anyone who is willing to give it? I am sorry this happened to you. It is difficult opening up about these things to other PPL.
I think you should take your time if you need it and open up when you feel ready to. Your partner should be loving and gentle and understand. If you want to tell them immediately, being vulnerable is okay.
If they don't take it well, that is not a reflection on you. Take your space and time to heal, and if you need to talk to someone else in your life about this you should.
You did nothing wrong.
Just remember that. You did absolutely nothing wrong. You didn't deserve it. I hope you are okay. Less than 3.
So you fell down on the ground and your friend's first reaction was tonguing you?
She needs to be reported.
I can't begin to imagine how many lives this woman is going to ruin.
And if your girlfriend does not believe you or starts judging you, she needs to go.
Do not be ashamed, it's not your fault.
And please get into therapy.
You go to the police and file a report.
After that you tell your GF. Otherwise she might not believe you. Go to the hospital sad face. Tell her straight away, be honest.
Don't hide it. Ask her to come see you. Then ask her to go to the police station with you. Tell her you just need support right now and after the police you want to talk to her. Let her be there for you.
I'm so sorry this happened. How do I, 20F,
tell my boyfriend, 20M, that I have never finished during intercourse? My boyfriend and I have been dating for a few months now and every single time we have intercourse I never finish. It's just very difficult for me to, so I've always faked it.
The reason I fake it is because he's the type to finish after me. So unless I finish, he won't.
Because of that, it takes too long, so I've found myself just faking it, so we're not going at it for too long.
Now I'm starting to regret it because I'm not interested in having sex if I don't finish. I also regret lying about it because I feel like if I told him the truth we could have worked on it. But now that I've lied so many times I feel guilty. I feel like sex is so intimate, so lying about something like that could ruin our relationship, is that right?
You can save his ego and also solve the problem. Don't tell him you never finished or faked it, just going forward tell him what you would like him to do. During foreplay or sex tell him explicitly what you need him to do to help you orgasm.
Sex is all about communication.
You have to tell and or show the other person what you want. You can't assume they will naturally know what you want or need.
Fewer than 1 in 5 women say they can climax from vaginal intercourse alone. I'm in my 40s and have never orgasmed from sex alone.
Either you or him have to rub your clitoris to orgasm if you're like most women. Whether that's with fingers or the right angle during penetration.
Or have him go down on you before you have sex and orgasm. Then you're already done. If you're able to finish on your own, then ask him to implement that into the bedroom.
Or just simply ask for foreplay.
Us men are much less complicated than you would think, and we would rather you just tell us what you want than to expect us to know.
Can you finish on your own?
TBHI was on the M side of this before, but maybe a little bit different of a situation.
My girlfriend said she had never came with any partner and had always faked it. I'm experienced enough that it didn't crush me, but I asked her why she felt the need to lie and told her we could have tried different things, etc.
Since your boyfriend is a little younger and less experienced, I might not tell him you've never finished, but just try to tell him you'd like to change things up a bit to focus on your pleasure as well. First of all, stop faking it.
Secondly, sit him down and have a gentle but straightforward conversation about your needs. Tell him you've avoided the conversation because you don't want to hurt his ego or feelings, but he's just not getting you off.
Then, if he's willing, show him how.
He 28M cheated on me 25F and he won't stop trying. Any advice?
He cheated on me. We were together for 3.5 years prior and got engaged this April. I found out through the woman. She sent me a friend request through Snapchat, which is an app I haven't used in ages.
Apparently, she tried to tell me via my Instagram but couldn't because lo and behold she was blocked by him. This man had the audacity to take my phone while I was asleep just so he could cover his tracks and hide the evidence. She got in contact with me through Snapchat and we actually meet up in person and she told me all about him.
She had all the proof. Texts, call log, and a video. Yes y'all, a video. I felt my heart sink in that moment. She also told me that they'd been intimate twice in the same night and he ghosted her the next day. Just what an asshole. I've been a girl's girl my whole life, so I can wholeheartedly say I'm not upset with her. She says she didn't know about me but he knew. He knew I existed. He knew I was at home waiting for him. We were sharing an apartment together at the time. I was blindsided because he's never mentioned to me any issues with our relationship. Y'all, he bought me flowers nearly every week but always kept one flower with him just so he knew when they were about to die and he could buy me more. Who even thinks of something like that? A man who I thought was my future husband and I desperately wanted to be his wife. The wedding planning, the catering, the dress, our future, everything was just so exciting to think about then. I thought I had my dream relationship but I was wrong. After knowing what I now knew, I left. I'm not confrontational, especially in a situation where I don't have the upper hand. He pays the rent and he's also a lot bigger than me. Not that he's violent. He's never been towards me. Fast forwarding. I have a very supportive and understanding family and I'm staying with my parents till I get my life back. My question is, how do I get him to stop everything? I gave him back his ring, his space, bigger purchases that he's gave me, the deposit money that he's put up. I'm not dragging his name, I've been respectful. More so than another person in my situation would do, and he just won't stop trying. It's been a few months of non-stop begging, crying, and stalking at this point. I blocked him on everything and he's reaching out to my friends and family. Yes, I'm hurt right now and I'm angry, but I know I'll heal at some point. I know I will live, but I'm not giving him another chance. That's just not who I want to marry. I haven't explained to my parents just exactly the lengths that he has gone to, but my closest friends know and they're telling me I need to get a restraining order, but I really don't want to put the law in his life. I just want him to stop reaching out and heal himself too. So what he's doing is stalking and harassment. Contact an attorney. Have them draft a cease and desist letter and send it to him certified mail. It will cost between $200–300. He needs to understand his actions will have legal consequences from this point on. If he ignores the order, you can seek a restraining order at your local courthouse. If he doesn't want the law involved, he shouldn't stalk people. It is super weird to me that after he cheated on you and while he is actively engaged in stalking you, you are thinking about protecting him. Knock that shit off and start protecting yourself. You need to tell your friends and family that they are the ones hurting you. That they are not properly protecting you. That if he comes to them, they are to send him away and not to tell you about it. Tell them to call the cops. He's not done anything that you mentioned here that would be a restraining order. Are you certain he wasn't giving the other flower to another girl? If you're sharing an apartment, wouldn't he see them at home? The flower would die without proper care, so where would he have been keeping it? If he stalks you, and you really don't want it to be that way, one way is to report it to the authorities. It might scare him off and it could help you get your space. Maybe tell your family about it, tell them to block him on everything they can, but if he doesn't stop, I would do that. The police. Also, you might write him a long message about how you are never going to marry him. That you never want to see him again. You know, something deep and hurtful. If you put your broken heart into it, that also might do the trick. The next time he reaches out, tell him you'll contact his family, all his friends, his workplace, and whoever needs to know to get him to stop. Tell him actions have consequences. He cheated. You moved on. He also violated you by blocking someone in your phone. Tell him these are things there's no coming back from and it's over. If he still wanted to be with you, he shouldn't have cheated. Tell him he built the house of mistrust all on his own. How should I 20F handle this situation with my 21M boyfriend?
Just started dating this guy I've known for a year. We've hit it off really well and things have just started to get serious. He's very sweet and very affectionate and we share the same sense of humor. It's been going pretty well. But earlier today I posted a cute collage of our date from this weekend and a girl we go to school with slid up and told me about how he had gotten her F21-22 pregnant and she had gotten an abortion and I don't know what to do. This is the first time I've spoken to her, so do I take it with a grain of salt or do I bring it up and ask him about it?
I thanked the girl for telling me, but I have no idea what to do. I even apologized. I am just so shocked. Updated information.
So I talked to the girl some more and they met during Halloween. And him and I started hanging out, talking in April, started dating in July.
She had asked him to split the bill for the abortion, which I think is completely reasonable, and he stated he couldn't afford it and she reached out to his mom to help, which his mom helped her out. She provided papers and an ultrasound of her going to Planned Parenthood.
Definitely red flags about him not helping pay for something he helped with. He's supposed to call me in an hour and I'm going to bring it up to see if he denies or lies.
Even if he tells you the whole story, there are still some red flags here. He either has unprotected sex regularly, or they were both sloppy with the birth control and condoms. Also, he left all of the responsibility of ending the pregnancy on the woman. She had to reach out to his mother to get help paying for the abortion. If you decide to keep seeing him, make sure you use birth control that you have control over. Also, make him wear a condom. Condoms plus another form of birth control will protect you from STDs and pregnancy.
From his past actions, if you get pregnant, you will be on your own to deal with it. Take care of yourself.
It depends on if it was before you started dating or not. If it was during when you started dating, run. If it happened while you were dating, then you know what to do.
If it was before you, remember there are two sides to every story and you are hearing an ex's side which should be taken as coming from someone who isn't your BF's biggest fan. Ask her when this happened and then ask him about it, and if it matches up and it was before you knew each other, it's okay, I guess. If it doesn't match or if he was particularly horrible to her, it's just a red flag anyways.
And if he totally freaks out when you ask him calmly about it, take it seriously, lol.
Talk to him and find out the timeline. Does he know about this? When did this happen? Etc.
Respect yourself and don't stay with him if it doesn't feel right. He's cheated, etc.
Hold on, so the lady still got the financial help anyway? What's the reason of telling you?
I would understand if he left the burden completely up to her, but he explained he literally could not afford it and had his family step up. If anything, the red flag would be he's financially irresponsible, but if she got the help she needed and still told you yay, she just don't want to see him happy.